year, the federal government purchases more than $600 billion in goods and services. The Congress passes laws for purchasing things, and as president, I get to decide where we spend them and what we purchase. I had to purchase what was called for, but I get to, and I'm the one who makes the decision. The administration makes a decision of how to spend that $600 billion. If American companies know that we're going to be buying from them, they're going to be more inclined to hire and make key investments in the future in their companies, like you're doing here. My Build Back Better plan has incentives for electric vehicle adaptation, for increasing the amount of clean energy our government buys, and these Buy American rules can help guarantee a reliable market. I just saw the work you're doing in the heavy-duty electric vehicles here, like electric garbage trucks. You know, there are more than 600,000 vehicles in the federal fleet, including the majority of which, the largest portion of which are at the post office. As we work to electrify them, as they run out, electrify them, we're going to be making a market for vehicles supporting both good jobs being created as well as innovation we need to electrify our transportation sector and clean up our environment at the same time. And we'll be expanding my Made in America initiative to help cities, towns, and tribes get a better deal when they buy a Made in America product. It helps the towns, the taxpayers, as well as all of you on the floor of this significant place. It really does. There are a lot of folks out there who look at how fast and how dramatically the world is changing and world economies are changing. I mean, who would have thought that 20 years ago you'd make electric garbage trucks here? Seriously, think about it. But they accept it as gospel that working folks are going to get left behind. They're not going to be able to keep up. Just the opposite. It's the opposite. Hard-working Americans are the ones who are going to make it happen. We got to invest in you. We're the most productive workforce in the world here. Given half a chance, there's not a single thing you can't do. So I reject out of hand. I've been criticized for this for some time, but I reject out of hand this defeatist view that the forces of automation and globalization mean we can't have good-paying union jobs in America. And right here, on this factory floor, you're making a product that are fighting climate change. That's why when I hear climate change, I think jobs. Our manufacturing future, our economic future, our solutions to the climate crisis are all going to be made in America, creating good jobs. That's what it means to build back better. We came out of this economic crisis, the worst since the Depression, stronger than when we went in. America is one of the few countries in the world where we get smacked and knocked down. We get up, we come back, and we come back better than we were before we got knocked down. Now, I'm not joking. Think about the course of history in America. And that's why in the American Rescue Plan, we passed shortly after I took office, we're investing considerable sums that will go to cities and towns looking to build back stronger. For example, towns in the southwestern part of this state can now apply for funds to cap those wells that are leaking methane, clean up abandoned coal mines, invest in bringing new employers into abandoned factories, and get help attracting them. Let me close with this. Back in 2009, during the so-called Great Recession, the president asked me to be in charge of managing that piece, then President Trump. Excuse me, Freudian slip. That was the last president. He caused, anyway, that was President Obama when I was vice president. And the American auto industry, remember, was on the rocks. And a lot of people, including a lot of Democrats, thought it wasn't worth investing in them because the American worker wasn't that good and they were blah, blah, blah. I remember the heat that I took, some of you may remember as well, when I stood up and stepped into the rescue of the American automobile industry. My name was often taken in vain on television shows a lot, because why is Biden so committed to the automobile industry? Well, because the fundamental mistakes weren't made by the workers, they were made by management. Today, A lot of the folks who said we shouldn't rescue the American auto industry are the same folks who are saying we don't need to buy American. What those people never realized is that if you give an American worker just a chance, a fighting chance, there's nothing they won't do. And if you give American companies and communities the chance, there's nothing they can't build. Just look around. From the steel that raised our cities, to the trucks behind me that are going to carry the economy forward, to the workers who are the heart and soul and spine of this nation. American strength is here. It's in this region. It's you. It's not hyperbole, it's you. And that's why I've told every foreign leader, and I just got back from Europe meeting with heads of state. One said to me, I said, America's back. And he said, for how long? The head of state. And I said, you know, I want to tell you something. It's never, ever, ever been a good bet to bet against America. We never fail when we decide we're going to do something. So today, I'm placing my bet on America. I know you all are going to make sure it pays off, because it will pay off with good jobs, long-term employment, the ability for America to once again reassert its role as the most powerful economy in the world. And that is as important as the size of our military and as anything else we do. And if we think we're not in a race, well, guess what? Take a look at China. Take a look at China. I've spent an awful lot of time with Xi Jinping, President of China, more than I'm told than any other world leader has. And he's made it really clear. He doesn't think democracies can compete in the 21st century. And I spent over 25 hours alone with him over the period of the last 5 years, 7 years. And guess what? Just come back from a conference with Putin. He thinks the same thing. Well, I got news for him. Autocracies will not succeed if we do what we can do as a democracy. Democracies. And if you notice, not a joke, a lot of the rest of the world is hedging their bets, whether to move toward autocracy or stay with democracies. We have it all, folks. We have everything that we need in this country to not only today, but for my grandchildren to be in a situation where we're still the most powerful physically and most powerful economic nation in the world that treats other nations decently and maintains the peace. That's who we are. That's America. We're the most unique nation in the history of the world. Not a joke. By that I mean every other nation was put together based on ethnicity or religion, or geography, but not America. America is the most unique nation in the world, and literally we're based on an idea. An idea is what formed America. And the idea was, and it sounds corny, but it is absolutely true. No other nation has this as an organizing principle. We hold these truths to be self-evident. That all men and women are created equal, endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness. We believe it. We've never accomplished it. But every generation has moved us closer and closer and closer to inclusion. And that's why America's real power is not in the exercise of our military power, but people follow us because of our example. That's why the rest of the world's following us. It was about time we get back up and reassert who we are. This is the United States of America. Thank you, and God bless you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you.